Hi, I'm Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and today I'm going to show how I'm going to take this vintage busted book cover and turn it into an art journal. Something like this. This was another book cover that was in very bad shape, and I was able to rehab it a little bit and add these mixed papers. And I'll be filling this up soon and showing some videos of that. But today I'm going to do the same thing to this piece here. Back in the day, well, for centuries, books were sometimes bound in ivory covers. They were very, very expensive, so it was only for the most precious manuscripts and only for the wealthiest patrons. But then in the mid 1800s, celluloid was invented. And celluloid was an early plastic. And it was found that you could use celluloid to make this faux ivory. These beautiful, very pretty covers. And this one's got the metal clasp. And you can see this one's actually in pretty good condition. So please do not yell at me because I'm not going to cut this one up, okay? This is part of the Kelly Bowler permanent collection. But this one has, I actually love this. You can see how it's really worn. This used to be nice and crisp, but the fact that it's worn so much and the crispness is completely gone is because someone held this and used it as a devotional item so much that it wore all that off. And to me, that's part of the story of this book. There's some energy here. And there's also some dings. So I'm going to have a lot of rehabbing. See, that's broke right there. So stay with me. If you like book arts, if you like journal arts and other things with vintage books and paper, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure and turn on those notifications. And you will have more of them in your life. Let's go make a book. The first thing to do when you're putting your own papers in a vintage book cover is you need to remove the text block. This one just popped right out. It's just so old. It's pretty much just in two pieces, so I don't have to do any fancy cutting here to get that out. I am going to save the end papers here are a faux watered silk, so I'm definitely going to save that. And then these pages I can use perhaps in the pages here and then definitely in collage or some art journal work or whatnot. So that goes in the scrap box. The next question is going to be, what about the spine? You have two choices here. You can make your signatures, sew them together, and then sew them in like so and keep the original spine, or you can remove it and then make your book with an open spine, you know, where you can see the stitches on the outside. So cover stitches. I'm going to try, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one, but I don't like this because that's just a paper cut waiting to happen. So what I'm going to do is see if I can pull that away and what's underneath. What is underneath is some stiffened muslin or thin cotton. I like that staining that's there, so I'm hoping we can keep that. Let's see. It did want to tear apart though, so and it's not very robust. So what I'm going to do now, see if I can keep this, is to reinforce the inside. To reinforce the binding, I am using some vintage, this is some old cotton. I think it's from like a pillowcase. So cotton or linen is going to work best. And if you can use any fabric, and again, maybe use an old sheet or a pillowcase. I've tea dyed this one, even though it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna show at the end, but when in doubt. And it's not perfectly perfect, but that's okay. This is a messy style book. What I'm gonna do is use acrylic gel medium for my glue. You could also use a PVA white craft glue or whatever you have. When you put your cloth down, start, okay, over here now we're making some contact on one side, but not the whole thing, because what you want to do is do not pull it completely taut across this gutter. If you do, then your book's going to break when you open it. It's going to be too tight. Instead, I'm feeding this into the gutter, making sure we've got some room here for bending and moving. Okay, same thing over here. Make sure I've got some nice space there. Now make contact. And I'm going to go ahead and put another layer of glue on some of this there. This is not going to show in the end, so it doesn't matter. We'll just get a nice surface. If you've seen my videos, I often at this point would weigh it down with something heavy. But again, I don't want this to go flat. So I'm just going to let it air dry like this. Probably an hour or two. While that's drying, let's make our signatures, the pages that are going to go inside. My main pages are going to be, this is tea-dyed watercolor paper. It's kind of a medium weight. And what I did was I did not measure it perfectly. I hand tore it. So we have slightly different shapes and whatnot. And this is a different cover, but the same size. So I'm just going to show that as a gauge. It's going to hang over the edges just a little, enough to give it texture and interest to the eye. If you like your pages perfect, go ahead and trim them and make them nice and tidy. It's just a personal style. Because the spine is even reinforced, I'm not confident it will stand up to too much bulking up. I love a chunky book, but I'm going to keep this one a little bit more realistic. So I've got 4 pages. So that's 8, making 8 papers, and that's 16 sides. Is that right? 4 papers, 8 pages, 16 sides, times 2 signatures. And that's not too bulky. I'm going to add to that for interest, and I'm going to add papers made from these. These are paper napkins that I turned into a kind of parchment. And if you would like to see how these are made, they're made from paper napkins, just plain old paper napkins, or you could even use a paper towel or a kitchen towel. And I'm going to link to the video where I make these papers in the text box below this video. So you can follow that link and check that out. So I'm going to use these. I like the dusty flowers, some faux paper lace, and what I'll do is I'll just use this as my gauge. Make sure the pages are about like that. I also have some stiffened gauze. that will hold a crease. So that's going to go in somewhere. And then maybe a couple of those original pages from the book. Let's see. I also am going to add a couple of pages from this handwritten text. This is from 1879. And I just love how it looks. You can collage over it or just leave it as it is. It makes really good interest to the eye. If you don't have handwritten paper, you do now, because I've got free printable versions of handwritten vintage French paper on my website. And again, you're going to find the link in the text box. If you don't see it, send me a message. I'll get you the link. So you can print up your own handwritten papers if you'd like. I'm going to go tear those, and we'll come back and sew them together. Now I have my 2 signatures of mixed papers. And to get them from here to here, I am going to first sew them onto a separate piece of paper. And then like this. And then we're going to be gluing either wing of that paper down into the book. So for the next step, it is as if we are very simple, just sewing it as if, sewing the signatures into this piece of paper as if this piece of paper was the cover. Okay, like this. I'm going to sew it right there. Now I measured this out, this piece of paper. This is from some wildflowers. And again, I have free printables of British wildflowers. You know where to find them. Go get them. Follow the link. I have made this a little bit more precise than I usually do. And again, you don't want this to be too taut, because otherwise your book will probably break. So this is where the edge of the gutter is. And I'm actually folding the paper to show me where the edge of the gutter is, because this is where, and then on this side. Okay, and this is going to show me where to sew my signatures into, right there. And it's giving me a little extra room. You know, it's not just stretched completely tight. It's got there. It's, you know, got room for the gutter. And then it's going to go over here. So I am going to go and sew these in using a 3-hole stitch. Sew the signatures in right there. Now my 2 signatures are sewn into my backing paper. If you have any questions about how to make a 3-hole stitch, I didn't show it today because I've shown it about 11,000 times. But I will link to a couple of videos showing the 3-hole stitch. If you're new, just beginning, you can go check those out and take your time and learn how to do it. It's super simple. Okay, so these are sewn in with a 3-hole stitch. And now I'm going to glue them into the cover that we have rehabbed. Now that it's dried, I can see that it's a little bit too long, so I'd rather have it too long and then trim it. And it's, you know what, it's still not exactly exact, like scientifically exact, but I kind of, that's okay with me because this is a messy book, and by the time everything's glued in, no one's going to notice. So I'm going to leave it like that, be nice and strong, and be camouflaged by the papers. I'm going to glue this page down here and this page down here. And that's where we're going to get our book. I'm going to do one at a time, though, because having said this is a messy book, and that's the hill I die on, I want to make sure that this is fitting into the gutter really, really, really well. And so if I do one side at a time and let it dry, then I can have a look and see if it needs to be pulled tighter or more loose to adjust on the other side. So I'm going to take my gel medium, my brush, and just put this down. Okay, this is dried and it's looking pretty good. So that's the front part of the book. And now we need to glue down the back. So you can see there's a little movement here, which is why I'm doing it one part at a time. So make sure that lines up with the gutter. It's not pulled too tight. Now I can add my gel medium here. My glue is going to go here. And then I'm going to just pull that right down. Make sure it's nice and straight. Now it is completely dry and finished. This is the back side, which we did separately. And this actually was a little bit too long. That's okay, because I wanted to make sure too long is better than too short. I've just taken a craft knife and cut that away so we can make it a little bit more tidy. Let's see what we have here. I want to show you how in the front it's a tiny bit wonky here. Ideally, this would have been, you see it's leaning. Ideally, it would have been better straight up and down. Except that really that's just aesthetic. The book is holding together just fine. And I'm saying this so that if this happens to you, especially if you're making a handmade book, don't stress about something like this. No one's going to see it except you. No one's going to notice it except you. And believe me, by the time the book is filled and chunked up, that's really not what anybody's going to be looking at. So embrace your mistakes and keep making it. Fill up those pages. So I do like how that cloth is looking. Got plenty of blank pages. And I can leave this as is, or I can add some collage. I'll probably collage on the text pages. And I will probably have a couple of videos showing how I'm going to fill these pages up, art journal wise. I'm going to use some text, some other images. There we go. If you have any feedback or any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I love to compare notes. Until next time, happy making.